How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having an awesome day. Today, we're taking a look at some more two-shots in the Capital Peak Raid weekends. We are versing one of the clans that is Master 2, and we're taking a look at the air version of the Graveyard Spam strategy. It is still quite strong, and we're giving you a look at what I would normally use on the Barbarian camps even before the balance changes. So we'll be taking a look and kind of comparing, contrasting, get my thoughts on the Barbarian camp. Then we'll look at the other strategies I am using for the Dragon Cliffs and the workshop. So the name of the game is to place the graveyard spells over the highest priority defenses. On the Barbarian camp, that is going to be the air bombs and the rocket artilleries, since we're using air troops. And then we're bringing in a few extra filler troops to sort of help clear a path, open up the deployment zone, so we can push these balloons deeper into the base. Did have to bring a few rams, because if we didn't, we'd have to go through these all these layers of walls. So with these three layers opened up as we push into the core of the base, that, like we saw there, that deployment zone will open up closer and closer and closer to these pesky air bombs. So got a couple more packs of balloons left. Just gonna be trying to clear a path to those air bombs and the rock artillery. So we did pretty much about the same as we would normally do. Always the goal on the first attack is to take out 2 out of the 5 splash air targeting defenses. So if you can get 1 rock artillery, 1 air bombs, or 2 air bombs, or 2 rock artilleries, then your final attack should be set up pretty well for you to have great success. So we are pushed into the core of the base. We are starting to deal with these air bombs. Air bombs do a lot of damage to the balloons, but we're also noticing that we still have roughly about the same amount of skeletons still alive. What was it? The max out graveyard spell gave like 33, I think. I think they dropped it down so it gives 29, so it's about like a 10% nerf. But we still have a bunch of troops still left over. Seems kind of like we kind of have more troops left over than we normally would have, so we're able to finish off that Barbarian camp in 2 shots. So now we're taking a look at the Dragon Cliffs. Now this is pretty much the same exact strategy I would use before the balance changes on the Dragon Cliffs. The idea is to try and zap down the core or the furthest Super Dragon outposts, and then try to send in a few of the archers and rams to take out a couple more, and then hopefully try and open up the deployment zone so that on the second and final attack you can use hogs to finish off the base. So here we're using our zap spells. We're able to get great value in the core of the base. Zap down 2 of the Super Dragon outposts with just 3 lightning spells. We damaged up the other one on the very back end of the base. We're going to try and push into this bottom right Super Dragon post. Then we're going to try and get this left post taken out, and then we should have 1 zap on the second attack. If we take out this outpost and then bring in a couple of Inferno Dragons, our hogs should be able to clear through the entire base. So we have 3 Super Dragons that we've lured to the edge of the base. Gonna be taking them out with the baby dragons, with the Inferno Dragons. It is nice when you can bring in 1 extra Inferno Dragon per Super Dragon that you want to take out, so that you don't really have to worry too much about the 1v1 scenarios, because it's depending on the Super Dragon level. 1 Inferno Dragon usually does not take out one of the Super Dragons if the Super Dragon moves out of its range at all. So we're able to bring in a couple of archers. Those last few archers were able to snipe down that weaker Super Dragon, which is perfect. So now we're sending in our other baby dragons to help take out the other dragon that was also lured over to the edge of the base, and we were out of range of most of the air defenses, which was perfect. So We do have about 6,750 points still remaining. Trying to get as much value as we can from our last pack's archers. But when we look at this base, we can see that we took out almost all of the super dragons. We took out the last super dragon outpost with the last lightning. Then we're going to lure it over to the edge of the base with a inferno dragon. Hopefully they can 2v1 the dragon. And then we can send in the rest of our hog gliders. I started the hog gliders a little bit early because I wanted them to try and distract the spear throwers, so that the inferno dragons would solely be able to focus on the super dragon. They wouldn't have to worry about, taking any extra damage, because if that super dragon was still alive, I had nothing else to take it out. So that would have been a really bad time, and you would have seen a lot of bacon with all these hogs. So as we can see here, with the DPS reductions, the hogs are actually doing really, really well on the Dragon Cliffs. Very, very nice. We were fortunate that the bomb towers were in pretty good spots, so we were able to place just a couple of heal spells over them. But yeah, these hogs, they absolutely destroyed the entire base, and we still had that blast bow still alive. So last but not least, we're going to be taking a look at a Builder's Workshop 2-shot. Now this one is sort of a variation of the basic layout. They sort of kept their, like, these weird compartments at the beginning of the base, and then we're going to try and push into the back side of the base. So typically the ground graveyard spam strategy worked out very, very well on Build's Workshop, but I still wanted to try and do as many of the districts with the rocket balloons as possible, because it's much easier just to practice one strategy over and over and over again and perfect it than to try and bounce around between a variety. It's like the the jack of all trades, master of none, that sort of saying, where it's like, yeah, you can do a little bit of everything, but you haven't quite perfected anything. So I'd much rather take the approach to perfect as much as I can the rocket balloon strategy, and then if a base looks really, really difficult, then use some sort of alternate strategy that may work or may not, So we got a lot of the base taken out. 57% of the base taken out on the first attack. That does, I believe that's even better than what we would normally get with the ground graveyard variation. I think the ground graveyard variation we would get around, I don't want to say it was like 45% maybe. I don't think we ever got over like 50%. Unless we were trying to go for like a crazy like one-shot, but those were pretty rare. So you can see here we are just slamming this base on the back end. All the defenses are taken out. Get the full remainder of the points. We even get a bonus of 525, which is just crazy. So that is how I am gonna be planning to two-shot these districts in the future. Of course, the Dragon Cliffs may require a third hit, depending on the Dragon Post locations and how the lightning spells play out. But yeah, hopefully this video is helpful. Hopefully you're able to start to two-shot some of the districts in this new balanced Capital Peak, even though it does appear that the rocket balloons are taking over. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a bunch. There's a couple more videos on the screen if you want to keep on watching. Until next time, take care.